Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to my cozy corner. Today, I will be reading to you Pepper Ann in Old Best Friend. Now, this book is based on an episode of a cartoon me and Mom used to watch religiously growing up, and I hope this helps you revisit those memories too. So, are you ready? Let's begin now. It was destined to be the worst week of my life. The older Grizzly girls were already giving me a hard time. Then one girl came along who changed everything. Cubby camp was intense, but she was there for me every step of the way. We formed a bond that could never be broken. She was more than a friend. She was my cubby buddy, Brenda. So imagine how excited I was when I found out Brenda was moving to Hazelnut. It was going to be so supreme, totally cooler than cool. But my best friends, Nikki and Milo, weren't so sure. What if you don't have anything in common anymore? Nikki asked. It won't matter, because Brenda and I have agreed that if things don't work out, we will be totally upfront and honest with each other, I said. Then I hinted, we have a lot of catching up to do, so we might want to spend some time alone. That was when Brenda showed up. She was this total freak. I needed protection, fast. This is Nikki and Milo, I blurted. They're going to hang around with us the whole time, okay? Great, you can show me around. Brenda put on an engineer's hat and chugged like a train. All aboard the Brenda Express, she shouted. Chugga chugga whoop whoop. I tried to show Brenda the coolest places in town. So, I said, this is Hazelnut's hippest bookstore. Books? Groaned Brenda. Ugh, they're just TV in boring form. Nikki freaked. She had had just enough of a Brenda. Excuse me, but this boxcar's bailing here at Boringville, Nikki said as she derailed. Next, we headed for Hazelnut's coolest place to play Crunch Pod. Video games? Brenda whined. Gee, I think I know how to waste my time for free, thanks. Milo stopped chugging. Later, Cubby Ann, he said. This caboose is cutting loose. How could they leave me alone with her? I thought they were my friends. I tried to be friends with Brenda. Really, I did. But she wanted to do one totally uncool thing after another. She wouldn't even go to the Greasy and Cheesy because pizza wasn't on her diet. My head was spinning. Did I used to be this much of a freak? Or had Brenda changed? And how was I ever going to get away from her? Well, this little engine better get home, I finally said. But Brenda tried to railroad me into dinner at her house. Oh, I'd love to, but I can't, I said, thinking fast. I've got to, babysit Moose. Bye. I ran like the chicken I was, but even that didn't work. Brenda came to my house and volunteered to babysit my little sister with me. We'll braid our hair, play dollies, and stuff ourselves on choco-puffins. It'll be gazoodles of fun, Brenda squealed. It was a nightmare. Then Moose's friend showed up, and Moose blazed out of there on her skateboard. So I steered the Brenda Express toward the door. I guess we'll have to babysit some other time, I said. But before that train could depart, Mom came by and put on the brakes. Why don't you two have a sleepover? She suggested. Brenda squealed. As she ran off to call her parents, I went into the bathroom to reflect on my doom. Why don't you just tell Brenda it isn't working out? I said to myself. It was time to be honest. Suddenly, Brenda burst in, babbling about staying over. Then I lost my nerve. I know, totally wimpy, but it's not easy being honest when someone says, I hope you want me to stay because this friendship means everything to me. So Brenda stayed. And she wasn't kidding about braiding hair. The next day at school, I told Milo and Nicky they didn't have anything in common with Brenda anymore. I was so upset that I almost blinded Milo with my new braids. Things were getting ugly. Why don't you just tell her? Nicky asked. Right, like I'm that mature. It just wasn't that easy. Just then, Brenda came up running with her baton. She flipped it in the air and smacked Milo in the other eye. Poor Milo was really hurting. Nicky took him to the school nurse and left me alone with her. There was no escape. It was like I entered the Brenda zone. Everywhere I looked, there she was. It was horrible. My life had turned into a Brenda nightmare. One day in class, Mr. Carter heard Brenda talking and gave me detention. Oh well, at least I have an hour away from my cubby buddy. May I have detention too? Brenda asked. Then she threw a paper airplane at Mr. Carter. We'll suffer together, she assured me. Like I wasn't suffering already. The only thing to do was go into hiding. I said goodbye to Milo and Nicky. I have to hide, I explained to them. If I don't, I'll never be alone. I can't tell you where I'm going. I'll only put you in danger. I'm going to miss you guys. But before I could run away, Nicky said, Tell Brenda the truth. I knew Nicky was right. I couldn't run forever. Then I saw Brenda. We both started talking at the same time. Brenda said, You first. I took a deep breath. This wasn't going to be easy. Okay, Brenda interrupted. No, me first. I have to be honest with you, Pepper Ann. We just don't have anything in common anymore. I couldn't believe my ears. Brenda patted my head. Don't feel bad. I've grown and you've changed. I made new best friends. I hope you understand. Then Brenda dumped me for the twins, Tessa and Vanessa. I was totally confused. How could she do that to me? Me, her best friend and cubby buddy. Goodbye, Pepper Ann, she said as she turned and walked away. Remember, we'll always have cubby camp. Can you believe that? After all we have been through together. The end. Thanks for watching, everybody. And thank you for listening to me read. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So be sure to like the video, leave a comment down below, and subscribe. And I will see you next time. So long, folks, and take care.